Hi guys, I'm Shmi and it's day 2 of the X6 tour, my adventure around Europe in the BMW X6 M50D. Yesterday I drove over to the Netherlands from London. It was a pretty long drive, but today I'm here now and I'm at Van der Kooi Sports Cars, where I'm going to be taking a look at 2 cars in particular, a Lotus and a Zenos. But first, let's head inside and take a look around the showroom. Van der Kooi are a dealership for Lotus, Zenos and Caterham, British sports cars. Let's come in and take a quick look around. On the right hand side we have the sort of classics and cars for sale, so take a very quick peek. We've got a Jag XK 120 and behind that a Lamborghini Countach 5000S. We'll head down to the other end though, where we have the Lotus cars. Kicking off with the Elise S. And then one of the cars I'll be taking a look at today in more detail, which is the Exige S Roadster. I will feature some highlights of that video in this diary piece, but there'll also be a full video to come about the Exige S that will follow the tour. I've been looking forward to driving this one quite a lot. Be a pretty fun drive, I think. And here we've got the Elise S Cup 220, Evora S, and the second car that I'll be filming with today, which is the Zenos E10 S. Something a little bit different. Again, I'll be featuring the car in a lot more detail later on. Looks pretty cool actually. No doors, you have to jump in and just check those seats. Two-litre EcoBoost engine in there, mid-rear. I think that's going to be quite fun. Down this end we've got a number of cars for sale here in the showroom. There's a workshop out back where lots of project cars are worked on, race cars, track cars, as you'd more or less expect, and it's always fun to take a look at a Formula 1 car. We have sat right here, so I'm going to now take a look at these two. I think I'm going to be going in the Zenos first. So we'll take it out, take a proper look around the car, and find out a little bit more about it. Zenos is heading out. Meanwhile, we're in the workshop, just taking a look at some of the cars being restored and worked on here. Van der Kooi run a race team, so they have these 2 fully prepped cars next to the truck outside, and the full workshop just through the other side as well. But I'm going to chase the Zenos out, because we're going to be taking that out for a test drive. Okay, so here goes, into first gear. Already feels exciting, it's got like an urge to go. And then you get that noise going off with the wastegates. This is going to be a fun drive, I think. Obviously we've got nothing by way of ABS, traction control, or any kind of electronic assistance in this car, so we have to be quite careful. Let's go. motor connected to it. So Zenos is the brainchild of the former caterer boss Ansarali, and you can see where all that sort of experience and expertise has come from and gone to, because this thing is just a lot of fun to drive. Sort of built very much for this sort of niche kind of market, I suppose, but it does it very well. And it's obviously no slouch, plenty of performance on tap, the grip is phenomenal, the speed through corners is wonderful. Gearbox is a joy to drive with. What a driver's car is all about. Pure fun, on the road, nothing too crazy from the power point of view that you're just going to run yourself into trouble. Completely usable, not too uncomfortable, or anything you would sort of not be happy going out and about with. Obviously, if the weather wasn't on your side, it wouldn't be wonderful, but that's a small price to pay. Back from the drive then in the Zenos E10, and that was certainly a pretty fun, enjoyable drive. I love things like this that are just built purely with driving experience and pleasure at mind. Although I say that, but this doesn't actually suffer too badly at all from sort of everyday essentials and the comfort point of view. You think those seats are going to be sort of completely solid and shocking, but they're actually not bad at all. The comfort is completely there. It is very warm with the engine right behind you, and there's not a load of storage space, of course. There's not even a roof. Well, there's the folding tonneau cover that's stored away, but you wouldn't want to drive too significantly with that. But that's not really the point of the car. It's supposed to be kind of a second car that you're going to take out and drive on a nice sort of Sunday road route and just properly enjoy all of the driving experience, and it does that very, very well. So big thanks so far to Van der Kooi Sports Cars for allowing me to take that out for a drive. Certainly an interesting experience, and these things start at just £30,000 or so in the UK for the standard engine. You can upgrade it with a load of other options and performance side of things, so obviously notch on top of that, but I've certainly had a good start driving this. Lovely little car. I'm going to head in now, because I'm also going to take out the Lotus Exige S for a drive. That's next. So we're going to take a quick break for a moment, have a drink, because the weather today is kind of funny. It's a lot warmer, well, not warmer, but more intense than it looks. There's cloud and I'm wearing a jacket, but I'm also wearing sunglasses, which makes no sense at all, but that's how it is. So yeah, I'm going to put this away and get out the Lotus. Then driving on board the Exige V6. I've got it to start in the Tour mode. So Tour mode means exhaust valves are a little bit closed, the throttle response has softened a little bit, but this is your sort of everyday driving mode, as it were. I guess how you might even drive this car to a track before you then go into sport mode. And you can immediately hear the valves opening up, getting a little bit louder, ready for us to have a little bit of fun. It makes the throttle response sharper, of course. That, and that's not even anywhere near the red line. This thing goes up to 7,200 RPM, and you can only imagine what noise it would make up there. Just sounds amazing. Handling is of course pinpoint precise. No automated or electronic systems helping you out. This is just an awesome car to drive. It's significantly larger, of course, than the previous Exige S, but it doesn't feel that big on the road when you're used to, I guess, the larger supercars. It's very easy to position. You're sat very centrally, although that does have the side effect of not having too much space on the interior, but that's not really the point. The point is about being a driver's car, and we've got the wind in our hair, which is always a nice bonus as well. And then you put your foot down again. So where this car seems to really stack up is that it's probably one of the most fun ways that you can drive drive, let's say, to a racetrack in a car that's probably going to be one of the quickest cars at the racetrack in terms of the feel, and that's what it would be like with the coupe. And then this with the Roadster is that sort of driving experience in the car that you're going to go off and do road trips around the Alps or whatnot and have an immense amount of fun in. And you can just totally see how this car, for a couple of hours a day, you could just have an amazing time out on the roads with a sort of proper level of driver engagement and feedback from the car, and it's no particular chore to drive, it's not desperately working too hard, it's just really fun. Back from test driving the Lotus then, it's got a little bit windy today, so I apologise for that and any buffeting in any of the videos, but I've really enjoyed driving these two cars today. Just manual, fun, drivers' cars. So massive thanks to Van der Kooi Sports Cars for hosting me. Do go check out their various pages, I'll pop the links below. But I have loved this thing, the Exige V6. I wanted to drive it for a while, and it is exactly what you expect, just a bigger, more serious version of the former car. So much more powerful, and it just feels, I guess, more like a car that you can go out and use and drive and enjoy, and this being the convertible is the one you would take on road trips rather than the sort of track focus of the coupe or the Cup car as well. There is the Cup, sort of even more focused version. But before that, obviously, the Zenos, which was also an awesome drive. Just fun, genuine fun, and these things start at 30k. This one's spec'd up a little bit more highly with the bigger engine, and all the sort of competition pack and stuff with the seats. But yeah, lovely day. Two proper drivers' cars. Unfortunately, the weather was on side for that. So once again, big thanks to these guys for hosting me today. But I'm going to head now onto the next part of this journey, which is going to take me a couple of hours on the road in the X6 towards Dusseldorf. Because today, I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to go when I get there, but I've got one or two things in the works. I'm just going to sort of have some phone calls on the road and discuss it and get it all set up before I pick up Mark from the airport tonight, Dusseldorf Airport. But not a bad start to the tour so far. 2 cars driven, well, technically 3 if you include the X6. All have done their purpose very well. So once again, big thanks to everyone here. I'm going to jump in the X6, get on my way. My word, it's got hot today. The air conditioning is running like crazy and I am burning up. I'm just trying to see where's the thermometer on this car. It actually only says it's 22 degrees, but it's taken me rather by surprise, and I've probably already got sunburnt as well, which is not ideal. But I have decided just now, while I was packing up, to go to the classic Remise in Dusseldorf, which I visited before. It's like the Meilenwerk Motor World, one of those sort of car storage dealerships, a whole lot going on. So I'm going to head over there, just have a quick look around, see what's going on before I head to the airport. And equally, because we're now in Germany, that means de-restricted autobahns. Now, I've done the autobahns quite a few times in supercars. This time, of course, we're in the X6, but it can do 250 k's with a lot of comfort, I'm sure. I'm going nearly 200 k's right now and barely even pushing it. This is actually going to be quite an interesting experience because it's obviously quite a big car, so it could get quite a lot of wind buffeting kind of stuff going on. But we're all-wheel drive. We're pretty wide, lots of stability, you'd think. So cruising on, got about an hour to go, but it should be quite a gentle, brisk-paced hour, I would think. 200, 210, 220, and on the brakes we do have quite a bit of traffic today. Be interesting to see if I can reach that 250 limiter on this car. 155 miles per hour, of course, 250 kilometers per hour. Lots of these German cars are all equally limited to the same number. But everything is so capable of doing that these days. It wasn't that long ago that being able to reach that limiter was such a big number. I am finally arriving at the Dusseldorf Classic Remise. This is the entrance. Now, I have visited here once before, although it was quite a long time ago, and often at these places you get some pretty cool cars just loitered around the car park, or at least at weekends you do, and unfortunately I haven't spotted anything yet. Just a Bentley there, 928 Porsche. If I keep going around I might find something interesting, just because car enthusiasts tend to come and spend time at this kind of place. I think last time I was here there was actually a GT2 RS parked up just here, which is obviously pretty unusual, but no, this time around nothing in the outside area. Let's head inside and take a look around. Inside the building, which is basically like an old railway yard, So it's a curved building. There is this whole car storage facility area. So let's take a look around and see what's here. A couple of old Astons in there. Hope you can just about see those with the reflections. Ford GT, looking good in the silver and black. Gallardo next to it. Oh, there's that VW concept-y thing down there. 300 SL. De Tomaso Pantera. That's looking pretty dusty. That was clearly put away without being cleaned. The area through the back there is like a dealership. Stuff on sale. Z8 SLS, then a red SLS Black Series with a Ferrari F40 underneath it. Tech-Art GT Street RS. That's a pretty hardcore, one of one. It's an even more special edition than a normal one. That's actually fairly mental, to be honest. Look at that. Look at everything it's got going on. Crazy. PLP50, English number plate. That's quite funny. LX15, that would be a newly registered car. Keep coming around. Old school turbo. There's a Weissman there as well. Another Z8. It's like a strange kind of treasure trove of cars, this place. Another Z8. Common as muck here. Oh, and a 918 parked next to it. It's actually so unbelievably random what you get. Like, somebody else out there is going to have to tell me what that is. Alfa Romeo Zagato something. With a G-Wagon underneath it. So yeah, no shortage of cool cars. I'm going to go have a quick look in the area, the other side. So we've got some old Ferraris, some Porsches. We've got an SLR here. Don't think they've had prices go up anywhere nearly as much as they probably deserve when you look at everything else on the market at the moment. A Brabus G63 wide body. That kind of actually stands out a bit, seriously menacing. 200,000 euros the price tag on that here for sale. Oh, GT2 RS. Heading down towards the silver car. Sweet. €565,000 now the price tag on the GT2 RS. That's insane. Probably one of the scariest cars you can drive. Insane power. Yeah, so just looking around, seeing what else is in here. It's a bit random. Some tractors over there. That's really cool. What's this? Don't know, just looks cool. Martini livery. So yeah, always some surprises around here. Wouldn't say it was a too bad selection today, but it's a good place to just hang out and get a bite to eat as well in here too. So there we go, classic Remise Dusseldorf. Well, I didn't end up filming anything at the airport, of course. Not exactly the most exciting thing to do in the world, picking up Mark from Dusseldorf, but he's here now and going to be joining for the rest of the trip. But not a bad day at all, visiting Van der Kooi sports cars, test driving the Lotus and the Zenos as well there. And I still can't get my head over the fuel economy that this thing manages, because I'm just totally alien to diesel cars, and going 1,000 kilometers on a tank is something fairly ridiculous. Of course, as well as visiting Van der Kooi, I popped into the classic Remise as well, some nice stuff there. But we're getting ready now for tomorrow, which is going to be a visit to Brabus. And it's been a while since I've been to Brabus, but we're staying just around the corner. Last time I was there 2 years ago, there were over 10 of the new 6x6s, but we've got some cool stuff lined up tomorrow as well. So that's going to be some nice videos too, I think. Anyway, another great day. Thanks to everyone. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, and I will catch up with you then. Cheers.